keep it going for Kyle Gillis! Thank you, Kyle. What's up? Good to be here. My name's also Kyle. I'm better than Danny eating pussy. What's up? And let me tell you my secret, folks. You need to have something to prove at all times. Be on the verge of homelessness, if possible. Just however much money you make, spend almost that much money. And every time you fuck someone, you're looking at their apartment like, yeah, I could land here. Shit gets worse. I could crash here until someone notices that's what's happening. Definitely. Also, I was a trumpet player as a kid. And so I have the oral skills of someone who played a brass instrument and the chip on my shoulder of someone who's been trying to walk that off for 20 years. Are you kidding me? Were you a jazz kid and now nobody can know that? It's good to be here. We're smoking weed inside. It's great. None of my friends have to leave sporadically. That's great. One of my favorite things to do is give comedians like Alex earlier a real big edible right before their set. Like, hey, you're on at 5. And they're thinking, oh, cool, it's going to hit after my set. And science is like, nah, player, welcome to the future. Shit hits different. Oh, man, it's good to be here. It's an election year. I don't know if you guys have also been stoned since the last one, but I've got another one. Also, you missed tax day. I think it's a very interesting election year for once, because this is the first time I can think of that we've got two candidates who are so great we get to vote for them both again. An election so excited, we were like, DJ, run that shit back. Are you kidding me? This is exciting because not only are you voting for the next president, you're voting for who you want to watch die in office. This is so exciting. Whose funeral do you want to be televised and whose do you want to be relegated to Yahoo News? You know, whose do you want to be tweeted about and whose do you want to hear about from my dad the following day? I can't wait till Trump's funeral because people forget how much of a piece of shit someone is the second they die. Like, a friend of mine died recently, and a couple other friends of mine were like, damn, I kind of miss Kenny. And I'm like, he sold you fentanyl. Let it rock. But Republicans are really good at that. The second that man is under fresh earth, they're going to be like, he was a good man, never told a lie. And it's the same guy who said of this dude, oh, wouldn't look his wife in the eye. Horrible dog, wouldn't piss on her if she was on fire. Hate that man, wish I could stab his shit. I'm not going to do the voice, it's hack. I don't miss Trump, but I miss the sense of excitement he brought that anything could happen. Because if I told you right now, hey, the president just declared war on werewolves, you'd be like, shut up. But if I told you that 4 years ago, you would be Googling it. I don't know. He might have a guy on the inside. You check Twitter and he's like, Team Edwards, that werewolf boy is a gay pedophile. I have on good authority. Also, no, we're not going to get into the Twilight material. Anybody else, against your will, rewatch those movies recently and it's worse than you remembered? Like it was gross the whole time, but I don't remember the hot werewolf being such a pedophile. Anyways, it's like if you're gonna be a creep, at least write God and the Devil are Raging Inside Me. Anyways. God Christ, we're getting too deep on this one. All right. Rein it in, Kyle. Stop it. Okay, thanks, voice inside my head. Good thing nobody else heard that. Good thing you guys didn't hear that. You paid money to be here. All right. Hell yeah, dude. Comedy is fun because sometimes it feels like something I'm doing. Other times it feels like something I'm also watching happen. Like sometimes in my set, I feel less like I'm making art and more like a weatherman. You guys see this too? I am voting for Biden. Thanks for asking. I'm voting for Hunter Biden. Writing him in. And it's because he smoked crack and lived, okay? I would rather know a president smoked crack and lived than not know how they would handle crack in a crack situation. I live in the city, okay? Live in the big city. And I know that sometimes Sometimes you don't set out to do crack and the pipe is in front of you. What if you're in a room with Putin and he's like, we make deal? And you make an eye contact with a couple of rocks. Honestly, I think old Joe would kick over and die at the clicking sound of them. But Hunter would deep throat that shit and forge new friendships. I think something a lot of people don't talk about is that the man is built different. I don't care what's on his laptop, I care what's in his DNA. The guy is indestructible. I'll have what he's smoking. Please and thank you. We talk a lot about like, oh, Bush is a guy I would have a beer with. This guy was a war hero. What about built different, okay? That matters. That matters to some of us, dude. There's a weird song coming from there. Sorry, I have ADHD. It's a sound thing. I have ADHD. I should tell you that earlier so that when I fuck up a bunch of jokes, it's a callback. I'm not just being bad at my job, it's just violently too high. I play this game when I get to this place where I start smoking the second I get here and just see if I remember what jokes are. I'm playing on hard mode with my career, which is already a hard mode choice in a career, if you were wondering. If you were wondering how to succeed in comedy, is just be really hot and kind of obnoxious, and it helps to have a rich dad. Delia also a pedophile, by the way. Didn't mean to make this a theme set, but here we are. You know, call a spade a spade. I'm selling merch after this. It's fentanyl. That's actually why the F is red. I got the goods on that. So I am selling merch after this. It's plasma. I am selling plasma. Anybody else selling plasma? No. I am selling plasma only so I can hit on women at the plasma donation. Because they're a cheap date and they got no diseases. You guys know what I'm talking about. Sometimes I'll tell that joke and people laugh and I'm like, cool, we understand I'm joking. Other times people look like they're taking a mental note of something. I'm like, oh, I've made the worst of us even worse. I am weaponizing the worst people right now. Don't tell them who sent you. There's no referral bonus for that. Oh, Jesus Christ. I have a strange following I'm attracting online. I have just few enough people that watch my videos regularly that I know who they are, and I am terrified of them. The only two types of accounts that follow me online is like Bong Reaper 69, and then like Jesus was trans free Palestine. And if you got them all in the same place, there might be a fight, or they would start a militia. I'm not entirely sure. But I am terrified of what I could bring upon this world if I started picking up trash. I get that now. I understand. I used to be like, why do people hate the Grateful Dead just because hippies suck? And then I understand there are the people you know, and then there are the people you like, and then there's this terrifying third group, the people you don't know who like you. And I pray you never have those people against your will. Because everything I post on the internet is me going up here and be like, isn't having a penis insane? And then going, Ben will know what I'm talking about. And then Red is like, hey, kill yourself, retard. That's my fault. I brought that upon myself by choosing to do stand-up comedy. But some people like fall down the stairs or think they're a good singer or something. And they wind up on the internet, and that's a little bit sad, you know? I think it should be harder to post a video on YouTube than it is to buy a gun, you know what I mean? Because at least when you kill yourself with a gun, the suffering is over, you know? There's reposts from 20 years ago of people's old punk bands where they thought, let's have a rap verse. Jeremy has bars. And that'll live on far longer than any Sandy Hook hoax or any Columbine documentary. Is the idea that at one point you said, what's up, bitches, into auto-tune. And someone was like, if we let this guy live this down, that would be my own personal 9/11. That will be the worst thing that happened to me. I'm glad this is going well. This is the last set I'm going to do. After this, I am retiring. I got a new job as the head of quality control at Boeing Aircrafts. Yeah, apparently they were desperate for a guy. I didn't even send a resume. sketch drawing of 9/11 with the caption, "Not on my watch, Having a job is so fucking stupid, dude. Job interviews are the worst. They say honesty is the best policy, but you should never be honest in a job interview if you don't have to. Like when they go, "What's your greatest weakness?" You can't go, "My man, I'm applying to work for you right now." I'm willing to put on a shirt that says Arby's. If that's not top 3, I should be dead. There's been a lot of talk about dying in this set. This is the usual for me. I'm not going to pretend it's not always like this. I think about dying constantly. One of my favorite things to think about. Because it's the only thing all of us are going to do, but you only get to do it once. And so I really got to stick the landing. Also, I think about it like I'm not suicidal. I think about it in the same way I think about gay sex. Like, I don't want to do it, but the thoughts are too frequent for comfort. I know what I'm talking about. Don't really put that on me. Please don't really put that on me. Selling merch after this is cocaine. Ignore the joke about fentanyl. That one was a lie. I think if you don't have kids, you should be allowed to litter. Like, I understand the visual of me just jettisoning a chocolate bar wrapper going, "Done with this," doesn't inspire hope. But at least I'm not going to make a second person who will also do that. Because I'm not going to hate my kids for things I also do, you know? I'm just not. I don't want to have kids, and it's because I have 4 roommates. So I've never had a quiet moment where I was like, you know what? There should be more people, and I should clean up after all of them. I bet I can talk some poor woman into this plan. Multiple times, I've been dating someone who I knew wanted kids, and she knew I didn't, and she was the one who insisted we use protection. How does it feel to be reminded your practice dick? Not bad, actually. Not too bad. It's not as good to be reminded your place. Get in where you fit in. You gotta understand, dude. I don't want to have kids. Here's the thing, I don't like kids. I don't understand pedophiles because I don't even like kids platonically. Surface level interest, always sticky, want to show you something they found on the ground. Just a bad head. I just want to wine and dine someone like that. That don't mean I support Chris Hansen, and here's why. I was rewatching his show recently to make myself feel better. And what I realized is multiple of the people on that program were definitely mentally handicapped. And the guy who had the final editorial control wasn't. Okay? He was Chris Hansen, a very not mentally handicapped man who was heading up a production company called Perverted Justice. Don't like that, by the way. Really don't like that. You can't sound like you're enjoying it. I don't like watching that knowing everyone in the room is hard at that time. It's almost as weird to get off on finding the pedophiles. Because, like, it becomes like almost entrapment, right? Because this is a guy who spends most of his day texting mentally handicapped adults. Yeah, I'm a horny kid. What you doing this weekend? I got pizza. I'm 12. And these guys show up, and you're gonna really tell me there's a power imbalance between this guy and a little kid? I'm not saying you should fuck kids, but I'm also not saying you should point at this guy and go, "He's so powerful and influential." The 40-year-old basement-dwelling, no-neck pizza delivery driver who showed up like, "I'm here to party." He doesn't even have a band. Okay. I did not mean for this to be a theme set. Jesus Christ. So I'm officiating a wedding tomorrow. There are no transitions in this whole set. This is not related to the previous jokes. Oh Christ! I I got ordained when I was 20 years old from a Buffalo Wild Wings on my cell phone. Did you know you can just Google it and $30 and 10 minutes later you have the power invested in you? I almost spelled my name wrong because I was looking sauce off the good hairs. And this was like over 10 years ago. This was a time when there was still a debate in the state I lived in at the time. It was like, oh, are gay people threatening the sanctity of marriage? It's like, I don't know, dude. I don't even know what that means. And I can make it happen. Right now. I could combine two people's lives like pulling a trigger, and it would take a team of lawyers to rip them apart when I'm done with it. And that took me less than a quarter of weed worth of money and less than smoking it worth of time. That's how little sanctity there actually is in this legal institution. It's more about what it means to you. So should gay people be able to get married? I should be able to marry an inanimate object if I have $30. I paid my money. And she's my wife. Okay. I gotta get this out of my system before tomorrow. And so I saw, shortly after that, I saw a photo of the first gay wedding in the state of Georgia, and they didn't crop it enough because you could see that they were both wearing cargo shorts. Because you can take the country out the no, hold on. You can take the boy out the country, but you can't. Look, I might need all the pockets on my wedding day. Because what if someone in the courthouse is like, hey, does anybody got a knife? I'm gonna feel real stupid if I left it at home. On my wedding day. In front of my husband and everybody. Okay, this has been a really interesting set. If I could stay on topic more often, I would be so good at comedy. You guys don't know this, but people with more money than weed dispensaries are hesitant to invest in guys like me because sometimes in the middle of the set I'll be like, I'm going to talk about something different now. And I feel like you guys understand that, but other people don't. So I'm opening a comedy club in a couple of months. Follow me on Instagram. Check it out. I'm never going to try to be on TV again. Thank you.